Palestinian resistance faction submitted its response to Egypt and Qatar on the proposed agreement and exchange of hostages. This report has more.
A ceasefire plan put out by Hamas would quit the guns in Gaza for 4.5 months and negotiate an end to the IOF attacks on Gaza. The suggestion by Hamas, in response to an offer made last week by mediators from Qatar and Egypt, was welcomed with relief and hope in the Gaza Strip. It comes amid the most diplomatic drive to date for a prolonged stop of hostilities. According to a draft paper viewed by Reuters, Hamas' counter-proposal calls for 3 phases of a truce for 45 days. The truce will include the exchange of Palestinian imprisoned in Israeli jails with the hostages taken by Hamas. Also, Gaza's rehabilitation would start, and Israeli forces would depart entirely. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken spoke with the heads of the mediators in Qatar and Egypt before arriving overnight in Israel to reach a truce agreement. According to the plan, during the first 45-day phase, all Israeli women hostages, males under 19, the elderly, and the sick would be released, in exchange for the release of Palestinian women and children from Israeli prisons. During the initial phase, Israel would also remove its forces from Gaza. The parties would have to finish indirect talks over the requirements needed to end the military operations and return to complete calm before the second phase could be put into action. The second phase would consist primarily of the departure of Israeli forces from all areas of the Gaza Strip and the release of the remaining male hostages. The third phase involves the exchange of bodies and remains. In addition, the truce would also encourage the passage of food and other aid to Gaza's besieged population, who are starving and experiencing severe shortage of essential goods due to the blockade and continuous bombing by the IOF. During a previous one-week ceasefire in November, 240 Palestinian captives were exchanged for the release of about 100 hostages. IOF attacks in Gaza has killed more than 27,000 Palestinians and injured at least 65,000.